Oh wow, bald eagle and another one. Two bald eagles. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, so tomorrow I'm gonna go do a small, short solo trip with the Packraft. So here's what the Packraft gear. I got the life jacket, the paddles, and the Packraft on the new Light AF Curve 46. So this is my full load right now. I'm not missing anything, and I'm just gonna take it apart and show you guys what I'm packing. But tomorrow I'm gonna go. Karen's gonna drop me off at the base of the Ghost Dam, and then I'm gonna float the Bow River, but I'm gonna stop overnight on Wildcat Island and camp overnight on the island. So I want to test this whole setup, and it's a relatively safe environment because I'll be so close. All right. First pack rafting trip of the year. Going to do an overnight on the Bow River, and that's the Ghost Reservoir. Normally I can drive closer to it, but because of COVID-19, one of the access gates is closed, so I had Karen drop me off and walk the rest of the way along this trail. Beautiful day. River's running high. I like it when it's running high, so looking forward to this trip. The snow in the mountains is melting very rapidly these days, and this is an artificial lake behind me called Ghost Lake, which is created by this dam, the Ghost Dam. Now the government of Alberta has contracted, this dam makes power for the city of Calgary and for Alberta in general, but because of the 2013 floods, the TransAlta is contracted by the government to keep the dam as low as possible as an emergency sink for high melt. But right now I can tell that the water's almost over the dam, so this is very, very high water levels right now. First things first, I have to inflate my raft and secure my pack to the raft, but I just want to see what the water looks like, the river here. And this is where I'm going to put in. Let some of the wind do the work. It's so much easier. So now what I do is I put it in the water for a few minutes, and the cold of the water will cool this air, decompress it a little bit, and then I'll top it up. So once the air is cold, it'll lose pressure, and then I'll top it up with my breath again, and then I'll have that nice tight boat. All right, so it's attached here and at the front. The pack is maybe a wee bit tighter. All right. Not gonna lie, I'm a wee bit nervous right now. Being nervous is normal. Alright, got my life jacket, my knife. I should have put a lanyard on the knife. I got my safety kit. My gear is all attached. Anything that can fall off is tied to a carabiner. The pack is tied to the raft. I think we're good. Let's go float. Alright, here we go. Last year I did this on June 16th. Today is June 10th, a little bit earlier. Feels good to get out. Those are the buoys that go on the other side of the dam to tell boaters not to get too close to the dam, but obviously some of them got sucked through the dam. There's another one over there. I'm lucky because I get to try things on conditions that are virtually identical to the ones I will encounter in the wilderness. You know, a wide river, trees, whatever. All the conditions are identical, but it's relative safety because I know that, you know, 2 kilometers that way is the highway. So if I need to get off this river, I can swim to shore and get to the highway pretty quickly. This is the first island. And I made the mistake of going down that way last year. It gets pretty rough pretty quick over there. Last year there was a bunch of people on that cliff studying that, getting ready. So, and just looking ahead here, I got a bit of white water. So, it's where we get wet. Oh, here's a good one. purposely didn't put a bag because I wanted to test how a garbage bag over my backpack because I wanted to test how waterproof it is in these conditions. There's a train coming. Well, the river is wide. I was honestly nervous, you know. It's my first solo pack rafting trip. I've done a couple of solo canoe trips, but you know, and I would not do a solo trip in a very remote area. I think that's dangerous. Water's extremely dangerous, you know. We all have 9 lives. I've used about 5, so I got 4 left. And of my 5 that I've used, 3 were in water accidents, including a near-death experience on the St. Lawrence a couple of years ago. A link to that video up top. But now I'm calm. You know, it's just the pre-trip jitters, and this is as high. I've experienced this river as high as it can get. When the dam is wide open like this and the spillway is open, this is as high as this river gets. And when the river's high, it's actually flatter and calmer. As you can see, I'm not even paddling right now. It's when the river's low, and then there's a lot of rapids and rocks and things like that. So a nice leisure stroll today. Very, very, very happy. Woo, we're moving. Oh wow, bald eagle and another one. 2 bald eagles. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And these are the biggest rapids on the river over here. Cool. Somebody's got a nice setup. So this is the most interesting section of the river. This is right after the gas plant and shortly before the island. So the river here does almost it does more than a 90. It does about 110 degree bend, and then it turns again 90 the other way. So it's a big S bend and it creates a lot of crazy currents and waves just over there. So best way is right through it, because if you go too far to the right, you run in trouble, and if you go too far to the left, well, actually I'm going to say that today it looks pretty calm. Relatively calm. The problem is, as soon as you go through the rapids, then I gotta go right, because I want to stay on the right side of the island, and the island is immediately after the rapids. So I'm gonna go down the middle as much as possible and then just skirt the edge of the rapids. And just like that. No big deal. But now I want to go hard left or hard right, because there's an island here, and that's the island where I'm going to camp. There we go. You can literally see the water dropping here, and you want to go right down the middle. Woohoo! Whoop, flat. My fear is that it's going to be hard to stop, because look at how fast I'm going. I might have a really hard time stopping on this island, because there's no bay, there's no nothing. It's just, I'm going to have to grab onto something and not let go of the raft. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna put back into the water. This is the two rivers. The river rejoins here and the point of the island, and this site is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm gonna come back here. That's hardly roughing it. That site back there has got a picnic table, it's got a rake, it's got firewood, fire pit. It's even got a folding chair. Holy smokes, man. I'll be in heaven there. Alright, let's not miss the other spot. That would suck. How cool is that? Couple of deer. And a cow. Alright, home sweet home. Let's see how things survived. I had nothing here that could get that couldn't get wet, so I had rope, that'll dry, and neoprene gloves, no big deal. Let's see how the main compartment fared out. In fact, I will put a plastic bag on this, because when it's on the front of the boat with a plastic bag over it, it acts as a skirt and it keeps the waves from coming in. So totally dry, as if I'd expect anything less. So let's set up camp. First thing I need is a 63-inch piece of wood for my teepee. So at home I knew that the other pole was right about where my nose is when I hold my head straight up, but I also cheated because I had a rope that I cut to exactly 63 inches. So, all right, let's set up this teepee. Last time I set it up was in the middle of winter at Point. No, sorry, not at Point, at Big Bend. And let's see if it's easier to set up in summer. Then I just go around and tighten it till I get it to the right shape. There. Once it's set up, you just gotta pull the corners and make it taut. And a problem with teepees, and I can show it if I draw it, but it's a triangle which acts as a truss. And so if you put a triangle on its side, if you put the pole on its side accidentally, or if you're on a slope like this and you put the pole up, you create an unequal triangle. And so you need I can't remember, an isosceles triangle. So if you're on a bit of a slope, you have to put your pole a bit out of an angle or loosen one corner. So they don't work very well on an angled surface. So through there, and then on the, I added this myself. These are great. These easy cams or whatever they're called. And that gives the tent just a little bit more shape. Woohoo! Look at all the space. And yep, my pole is a little crooked. There. Well, one thing I'm not looking forward to is this water. Look at how green this is. Ugh. And it comes from up there, and I know there's power boats on the river. Not that many, but still. Well, it's not clear, but it's not too bad. Let's see what it does. All right, here goes nothing. Not bad. Be fine for making soup, cooking, and I'll put some crystal drinks and light in it, and it'll be a good juice. It's fine. Water's so important. Just going on a little walk around the island. I've never walked this whole island, so I'm just going to go and explore it, see what it is. So far I've found 3 campsites. This is crazy old growth forest, like I don't know why some people pick certain spots. This is ugly by my definition. No thanks. Came down through there. site. This one's more or less at the point of the island. Jeez. Pretty major. Look at this dead tree. Just beaten by the pine beetles. That'll be plenty of wood for the night. She's pretty dry. She went up quickly. Honey lime chicken. 2 cups of boiling water. That's my stove. Nice. Last thing I want to do is spill stuff. You know, you get one chance at it. So, in she goes, 2 cups. And then you stir it in nicely. Make sure everything gets wet. And then you let it sit for about 12 minutes. I think I've had this one before. And what I do is I cut the bag when it's time to eat. All right, 20 minutes or 12 minutes. So very good. So what I do, put it on the side like this. There. Now I can eat it with my small spoon. Can taste the lime. Very good. Wow, that's hot. Tasty. I don't like the ones that are mostly rice though, you know. I prefer the pasta ones, but this one's pretty good. Oh God, I just realized that the extra batteries for the GoPro are on my desk at home. So the only battery I have is the one in this camera, and it's showing that it's dead. So I probably won't have any footage of tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll have a little bit on the iPhone, but rookie mistake. I forgot the batteries. Well, sleeping in a teepee is certainly different. Look at all the space I have. I actually have the kayak and the packraft in here. So it's 9:45. Lots of sunlight, but you know, sunset doesn't occur until about 11 o'clock. All right, just about ready to go. Yeah, that was a bit of a rookie mistake. I forgot batteries. But anyways, everything went fine. The rest of the, the rest of the trip was uneventful. I woke up this morning around 6 a.m. and I was ready to go by 9, and I got on river, floated, did about 2 hours on the river, and got to Cochrane around slightly before 11 o'clock. So, and Karen picked me up, and I came home, and I've been editing the video all afternoon. So hope you enjoy this. Just wanted to mention, so I think it's obvious, but packrafting is a concept of having a raft that is so small that you can put it on your pack and go on hikes with it. So then the idea is to go on hikes up, in the wilderness, following rivers or intersecting rivers, and then floating the rivers back instead of hiking back.
anyways, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and by all means provide some comments, and we'll see you off the beaten path. Cheers.